Welcome back. In this session, I'll be discussing about the data types in Python. As we mentioned earlier, Python is not very specific to data type. That means there's no data type declaration, but still each and every variable what is stored in the Python is associated with a data type. And there are objects, there are predefined objects which are available in Python that we will see later. The basic data type, as we know, is integer, character, float. So here we classify them as a text type, numeric type, sequence type, Boolean type, all this. So to demonstrate something, let's begin with our programming. So in my terminal, I will type Python 3. That starts my Python interpreter. And I will declare, I will use a variable a is equal to 10. And if I try to print type of a, then it shows it's an integer type. Here, every data type is treated as an object. That means here A is treated as an integer object. If I declare another variable, let me say B with a value 10.234, okay, then again if I say type of B, that shows it is a float. It says it's a class float. The previous one was class int and this one is a class float. That is, it is an object of float type. A was an object of int type. So that is what represents the data type in Python. I can have another variable C that represents a string as hello. Then if I type C, you can see the value getting printed. Then if I say type of C, it says string. str represents a string. There are good many functions available in Python for doing string handling that will be discussed in the next section of videos on string handling functions, which is a very useful property in data analytics, because in data analytics we have data that are being stored as strings and we have to do some string handling function to extract the values out of those strings. So string is also a class over here. In addition to that, we have sequences, which is list, tuple, dictionary. All these things will be discussed in the later point in time on different data types. So we have seen how an integer looks like, how a floating point looks like. We can also have a complex data type. If I declare something as x is equal to some variable then j, okay, then if I say type of x, it shows it's a complex. That is a variable of the form a plus ib, which is we call as a complex number, that can also be stored as an object in Python. Then there is another variable called as a range. Suppose if I say x is equal to range of, let me say, value 5, and if I try to print the value of x, you can see that it is a range from 0 to 5. The use of this range function we will see when we are studying about the looping structures. Now, the type of x is of range type. That is one more property what we have as a range. Okay, then I can have the list and the tuple type, where I can say x is equal to, if I have some values, like let me pick some fruits name, apple, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, so let us pick banana, banana is something we predominantly use, and say grapes. Okay, let us talk with fruits. Fine. Note that this is not an array. This is not an array over here in Python. This is something called as list. Okay, let us see what is that type. Type is list. Type is list. Now, I'll just do a small modification here. I'll just change the brackets. From the square brackets, I'll just put this curly brackets and a. Then you can see that there is a change. There is a change here. The previous one was list type, whereas this one is a tuple type. Previous one was a list, this one is a tuple. That is these two are two different classes, ultimately two different data types. There are a lot of operations with list and tuple that will be discussed in the next section of the video on these handling of these data types. Again, these becomes very important in machine learning kind of programming because we will read a CSV file or an Excel file, an entire column or an entire row is placed inside a list or placed inside a tuple. And then we do operations on those tuples. Suppose if I say name of the students, if I have 50 students, that will be one column in a CSV file that can be brought into a one list or a tuple, and that can be used using appropriate list handling functions or the function to handle the tuples. Then we can have a conversion between the data types. Conversion between the data types is what we will see next. We have declared as b as float. Now, if I say a variable p I use as int of b, this is what we know anyway, as typecasting. Now, let me try to print p. I'm getting the integer part. That is what the type conversion is all about. We can always convert from one data type to another data type. Let us say something x is equal to bool of a decimal number 5. Looks something a different operation. Let us see how it goes. Okay, now let us try to print what is x. X is true. X is true. Fine. Then if I say 0, then what do I expect is false. Just for curiosity, let me put -5. Let us see what happens. X is true. Absolute value is being taken. Other than 0, if you keep anything, it takes it as true. Anyway, we are not bothered about what value we keep. Always when we say bool, it should say true or false. That is a 0 or a non-zero value. In general, we say that. We don't say that 0 and 1. Good practice is always to say that 0 and non-zero value for true and false and true. 0 for false and non-zero value is for true. So that's about the data type, what we had to discuss in Python. Predominantly it is integer, float, character, and then the derived data types like list, tuples, dictionaries, and those operations related to that. And we have also seen how to do a typecasting from one data type to another data type. Further, we will take up in the next video. Thank you for watching.